Welcome back. I'm Jasmine, here today to discuss with you the subject of affirmations. If you've ever spent any time in the personal growth world, you've probably encountered affirmations. Maybe you've heard people say things like, I am confident, I am successful, I am worthy, I am abundant, I love myself. There are books, podcasts, coaches, social media accounts, and entire programs built around the idea of repeating positive statements. And for some people, affirmations seem to work really well. For others, they don't seem to do much. And for some people, they actually feel frustrated when they try them. So, what's going on? Do affirmations work or don't they? Well, the answer is a little more nuanced than most people realize. Today, we'll explore affirmations, why some help people, and why they feel ineffective for others, and how it relates to hypnosis, of course. So, the promise of affirmations. Well, one of the reasons affirmations have become so popular is because they're so simple. The idea is straightforward. If you repeatedly focus on positive thoughts, you may begin to think, feel, or act differently. And there's something appealing about that. After all, most of us would like to feel more confident, more capable, more peaceful, or more optimistic. But many people have had the experience of standing in front of a mirror saying, I am confident, while feeling anything but confident. They say the words, but the feeling isn't there. And that often leads to the question, if I'm saying it, why don't I believe it? That question takes us to an important distinction, the conscious mind versus the subconscious mind. One of the reasons affirmations can feel challenging is that the conscious mind and the subconscious mind aren't always in agreement. Consciously, you may want more confidence. Consciously, you may want success. Consciously, you may want healthier relationships or better habits. But the subconscious mind may still be operating from older beliefs or learned patterns. Things like, I'm not good enough, people reject me, I'll fail anyway, I don't deserve success, nothing ever works out for me. When an affirmation directly contradicts a deeply held belief, internal resistance can occur. That doesn't necessarily mean the affirmation is bad. It may simply mean that another part of the mind doesn't yet accept it. For example, if someone truly believes they are terrible at public speaking, repeating something like, I'm the greatest public speaker in the world, may feel completely unbelievable, and the subconscious mind probably is rejecting it. It immediately pushes back, and that resistance can make the affirmation feel ineffective. So, why do some affirmations help? None of this means affirmations are useless. In fact, many people find them helpful. Affirmations can redirect attention. They can reinforce goals. They can encourage positive thinking. They can support behavioral change. And sometimes the way an affirmation is phrased makes a difference. For example, someone may resist the statement, I am completely confident, but feel much more confident with, I am becoming more and more confident every day. Or, I am learning to trust myself. So, those statements often feel more believable because you are introducing the concepts to the subconscious mind instead of just completely going against a subconscious belief that's already been long standing in your subconscious mind. You can say, I'm considering the idea of becoming more able to trust myself. Instead of just saying, I trust myself, you can say, I'm learning to trust myself. I'm open to the idea of learning to trust myself. And those kinds of statements often feel more believable to the subconscious mind because it's not a command to just drop the program that's already in there. And because they feel more believable, they may create less internal resistance. Another factor people don't always consider is the timing. Some people repeat affirmations first thing in the morning. Others listen to them before sleep. Others use them before meditation or self hypnosis. And this is where things get interesting. If you've ever been lying in bed just before falling asleep, you may have noticed that your attention naturally turns inward. You feel less focused on the outside world. You're relaxing. You're quieting down. And many people find that affirmations feel different in that state than they do during a busy, stressful day. I remember watching a creator on YouTube, and the whole premises of her video was about the moments when you first lay in bed at night or when you're about to go to sleep and close the day out, and you take your affirmations and you know them, you kind of memorize them. She doesn't suggest reading them. She suggested visualizing them in reality, visualizing that they have already become part of your reality, and do that every night. I think she may have said for 30 days, but what she said was that her whole life changed because she visualized it. It became her reality. Those were her words. And as a hypnotherapist, I can believe that. Here's why. Because in some of my other videos, and you'll hear some other hypnotherapists talk about how hypnosis is that stage of focused attention and relaxation to get you to close out the thoughts of the busy, stressful day in the outer world and focus exactly on laser focus on what it is that you are wanting to change or update of your subconscious mind. And about 30 minutes before you go to bed at night, about 30 minutes within waking up in the morning, those moments of that dreary, daydreamy feeling, those are actually states of hypnosis. And during almost all states of hypnosis, you can reach the subconscious mind and make lasting, meaningful change. So I believe what this woman said. I believe that those visualizations, which is something else that happens in a lot of hypnotherapy sessions, the guided imagery that we've talked about in other videos, imagining the desired state as a reality during a time where you're in that hypnotic state of almost going to sleep. Yeah, that can be effective. And it was for her. So just bringing home that point, it may not be the words alone that's creating the effect. It's when you say them. It may be the state in which those words are being experienced. So this is one reason people sometimes begin to notice an overlap between affirmations, relaxation, meditation, and self-hypnosis. Because those are all kind of those states, as I've spoken about in other videos. Meditation, those are all forms of hypnosis. Those deep moments of focus, especially when you're relaxed, those are hypnotic states, different stages. So that's just something to consider. So many people assume hypnosis is simply repeating affirmations while relaxed. But hypnosis and affirmations are not the same thing. An affirmation is a statement. Hypnosis is an experience. In hypnosis, the goal is not simply to repeat words until you believe them. The goal is to create conditions that may allow the subconscious mind to respond differently. That might include focused attention, as I've mentioned, your imagination, your emotions, mental rehearsals of the desired outcomes, new associations, or different ways to experience a situation. In other words, the goal is not say it until you believe it. The goal is creating an experience that allows the subconscious mind to respond differently. Someone who struggles with confidence usually already knows they want to feel more confident. The challenge isn't understanding the goal. The challenge is changing the automatic response. And that's where many people become curious about hypnosis or hypnotherapy. So, should you use affirmations? Well, my answer is maybe. Affirmations can be useful, as we've discussed. They can reinforce intentions. They can support growth. They can help direct and redirect attention towards what you actually want or your desired outcome. And for some people, they become a valuable part of their personal growth practice. For others, they may not be enough on their own, especially when deeply ingrained subconscious patterns are involved. That doesn't mean affirmations are wrong or useless. It may simply mean that additional approaches could be helpful. So, in conclusion, affirmations aren't necessarily ineffective. But repeating a statement does not automatically change a subconscious belief. Sometimes the conscious mind knows exactly what it wants. The challenge is helping the subconscious mind move in the same direction. Understanding that distinction can help explain why affirmations work well for some people and be ineffective for others, and why many people eventually become curious about hypnosis. If you found value in today's conversation, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. I share weekly content on hypnosis, personal growth, and practical ways to create meaningful change. Thanks for spending this time with me, and I'll see you in the next video.